Ola S1 Air. You see, this bike is too good to be true. If all the features of the bike work perfectly well, this is probably one of the best EVs that you can buy in 2023. You see, we have split this video into two parts. Part 1 talks about major features of the bike, Part 2 talks about minor features of the bike. Feel free to move along the timeline. Now, in terms of range, Ola S1 Air offers a certified range of 150 km in eco mode. Now, this is just a certified range. True range of the bike can come around to 100 km or something. In comparison, Ola S1 Pro offers a true range of close to 135 km and a certified range of 180-190 km. Now, this bike offers slightly lesser range because of the smaller battery, and smaller battery has its own advantages, and the first and significant advantage is you can charge your bike faster. Ola claims that you can charge your bike in 5 hours. In comparison, Ola S1 Pro charges around in 6.5 to 7 hours. If you charge your S1 Air in your home, you still have to charge it overnight. The actual impact of the charging time you would feel with a hypercharger, where you would have to wait less on road to charge your bike. Second advantage is a flat footboard. You see, you had this huge bump on Ola S1 Pro, that's because of the battery, and now because the battery is small, you get this extra space now. This has been a long wait to get this flat footboard, but here we are finally. And the third advantage is that your bike gets lighter and you can have a more agile ride on roads. In terms of performance, this bike comes in 3 driving modes: Eco, Normal and Sports mode. You will miss the Hyper mode on this bike. So basically the Hyper mode is the peak and the highest performance that you can get from Ola S1 Pro that you are gonna miss in S1 Air. In the Eco mode, you can drive at a maximum speed of about 45 to 50 kmph, and in normal mode you can drive at close to 70 kmph of maximum speed, and in the sports mode the maximum speed you can drive is around 90 kmph, which is pretty decent for city use, right? Now in comparison, S1 Pro Ola had a maximum speed of close to 120 kmph. With all these 3 driving modes, you will have a very comfortable, smooth ride with absolutely no noise. Why is that? Because S1 Air comes with a hub motor. So basically this motor is fixed onto your rear wheel and it gives a really good controlled ride. But however, the hub motor has its own practical problems. The first significant problem is when your bike tire gets punctured. Now because your motor is fixed to your wheel, it gets a bit complicated because you have to be careful about the motor and then repair the tire. That can get a bit complicated. Speaking of which, can you remember in which bike has the same problem? TVS iQube. And the review of it, it's over here. Second point is that the hub motor can't give the high performance like what you get in Ola S1 Pro, and that's why you don't get the hyper mode on S1 Air. Now, apart from the range and performance, Ola S1 Air comes with a refined design from Ola S1 Pro. First thing is the front suspension. Ola S1 Pro had this something called the monoshock suspension, which was known for a lot of troubles. We all were watching the news when the customers were complaining that their front wheel came off. The structure broke. Now with S1 Air, Ola seems to have solved it, and they have replaced the monoshock suspension with the telescopic suspension. Speaking of which, the telescopic suspension is known for that extra stability and the comfortable ride it offers, and that's why you find that in almost every bike you see on the road. So let's expect S1 Air to give that extra strength and not to have all those structural problems that S1 Pro had. And you get a dual suspension in the rear as well. Now, speaking about the minor features of the bike, rear side of the bike has some design modification this time. Earlier this part was completely closed and you could not see any internal part of the bike, and this time the design is modified a bit to reveal the dual suspension and the hub motor, as if it was intended to be shown, as if it was intended to be seen as an upgrade. You see, just Ola things. And the bike has become a lot more colorful this time. I mean, you get this dual color tone with the bike, primary color being on the top and the black in the bottom, and the bike looks very beautiful and glossy to see. But structurally, it still feels not so premium and not very well built. And the boot space of the bike has become smaller now. With S1 Pro, the boot was around like 36 liters. With S1 Air, it's 34 liters. It's not a big difference, but if you are someone who usually carry a lot of stuff in your boot, you might feel it a bit lesser now. And the pillion rider handle support has also got changed. Previously, it was this 2 separate handles to hold and to take support, which was not that comfortable, and now it is a single simple handle with S1 Air. The front speaker and the storage also got redesigned a bit. I hope speakers also have got a bit better. We didn't get a chance to check it in the showroom. Apart from this, rest of the features of the bike remain same. I mean, you get this beautiful dashboard on the bike, same dashboard that you had on Ola S1 Pro, a 7-inch beautiful screen with huge bezels that gives you a feel of a huge dashboard. You can save documents, you can play songs on speakers, and you can unlock and lock your bike with a passcode. You can create profiles on your bike, and the navigation that you get here is still the best among the other EVs. Now, in the Ola S1 Pro, the responsiveness of the dashboard was very good, but there were a lot of cases where the dashboard suddenly stops responding and it doesn't work for some time. I hope with S1 Air this dashboard gets some refinement. Speaking about the seat comfort, the seats are very broad and they are very cushy. I bet you should get a very comfortable ride on this. What I expected was to have a cleaner and a better UI for the dashboard. I mean, the UI that you have right now is good, but it's too much information. You have a ton of ride statistics, a ton of settings to work around. These things could have been on a smartphone app. It just feels overwhelming and too much information to read from a bike dashboard. That could have been a lot better. But anyway, the handle and the switches also remain the same. The same old unresponsive rubbery buttons. These switches could have been improved. These buttons don't give a confident click. And more importantly, they are all cluttered. To the right, you have the switches for the power on and off and switching the driving modes. If you play songs on the bike speakers, you can play and pause songs with these switches and the one to switch songs. To the left, you have horn, headlight, indicator switch, and this switch is interesting. Assume you are riding an Ola at a speed above 25 kmph, then this switch will act as a cruise control, which maintains the speed that you are riding at. And if you are not riding, if you have stopped at a place, if you are parked, then the same switch will act as reverse mode. Now you see where I'm getting? You see, this bike has a lot of features, but they are overwhelming. On a handle itself, you have around 10 or 12 features, which is too much to remember and to train yourself. And most importantly, with these unresponsive rubbery buttons, you don't have the confident click if you have done it. This could have been a lot better, I feel. Now from the range and performance, what's clear is S1 Air is not for high performance and for longer rides. If you are looking for the shorter city commutes, if you want to roam around a city, if you are looking for office commutes, with this certified range of 150 kilometers, a true range of close to 100 kilometers, and a flat footboard to carry extra luggage, this bike will be absolutely fine and you would love riding this bike. But in spite of the range, performance and the few changes that this bike got, the most exciting and interesting upgrade for me about this bike is the front suspension. If this telescopic suspension can add strength to this bike, solving the problem that the monoshock suspension had with S1 Pro, this adds a lot of reliability on the bike, that this bike won't break. Structure is strong enough. That reliability is completely dependent on the front suspension change that we have right now, I feel. To be honest, the upgrades that I expected are the cleaner UI, a better dashboard with a few software bugs, redesigned handle buttons to be more clicky and responsive, a premium and solid build quality of a bike. Apart from the range and performance being kind of downgraded from S1 Pro, the upgrades that you see in S1 Air design are basically the colors, the front and back suspension, and the flat footboard. To be honest, these are all not upgrades at all. The footboard and suspension are actually the problems were created in S1 Pro. These problems are now being rectified. They are not even upgrades, I feel. They are just the rectification of problems which I wish was happened long back. Priced at around 1.5 lakh in Bangalore, do you really think Ola S1 Air is impressive? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.